We're gonna watch. This is a new announcement that they did. Diablo did, and it happened while I was asleep. Here we go.
Sanctuary was never meant for humankind. It was forged as a refuge from the war between the high heavens and the burning hells. Instead, it became a new battleground in this eternal conflict.
That's the mount. That's the
A secretive group called the Haradrim has kept mortals safe. But now this once powerful order is a husk of what it was, and Sanctuary's ancient creators have returned to claim the hearts of humankind.
Uh-oh. Well, that sounds really bad.
This is the story of their downfall.
Damn, bro, that's the mount speed in this game? This shit is slow. Oh my god. Up, yeah, you fucked up. Good job, idiot. Can we please get some barbarian attack action here? Come on. Maybe this guy's a druid, I don't know. Uh-oh. Why would you, bro, why would you walk towards that? It just killed your horse. Run away. He's a warrior? The true. True. Get in the cave. You're gonna be okay. I'm sure there won't be a bear in the cave. Yeah. There you go. All right. What is that? No, it's not a wolf. Oh, shit. Is that how the game starts? Yeah, I can see. I bet a lot of people probably weren't very hyped up by this trailer, right? Did people like this one? Yeah, wasn't that good? Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I actually kind of liked it. And I'll explain why I liked it. I liked it because it was just a slow burn the entire time. It's like you never really knew what was going to happen. And it reminded me a little bit of like some of the Diablo 2 cutscenes where like nothing really happened. All they did was set the mood. And I think like really, if you go back and you watch the last Diablo 3 trailer, or Diablo 4 trailer, where like Inarius fucking snaps his fingers and the fucking soldiers of God are fighting the undead and he throws his spear at Lilith. Like, it's like, how are you gonna beat that? You know what I mean? There's no way you're gonna fucking beat that. So this trailer is definitely much more of a slow burn with this kind of stuff. I like it. I think it's interesting. It reminded me, it's a weird comparison, but I think there was this movie I watched, and it had like Liam Neeson in it, and it was like I think called like the Into the Gray or something like that. And I watched it with my dad like 10 years ago. The Gray, yeah. And like it reminded me a lot of that movie. And I remember the beginning of that movie. I loved it so much. I thought it was kind of stupid the way it ended, but this whole thing reminded me of the beginning, and I like that a lot. Yeah, the ending, yeah, for sure. It's like a horror movie trailer. Exactly, yeah. And it could have been nice. I'm sure, as I said, a lot of people probably were looking for a lot more action, but I mean, I think it was fine. I don't think every single trailer has to be like this massive, big, you know, like fucking 4K resolution, Return of the King, Minas Tirith level, you know, battle scene. So let's go ahead and look at a few comments and see what other people have to say about this. Really digging the horror vibes here. Some great camera angles. You'll watch your own crazy customized character in the cinematic. I'm in. Is that actually true? Wait, what? Like, is that... Oh, wow, bro, that's fucking crazy. That's badass. What the fuck? Yeah, we're gonna watch the dev interview after this. That's really cool. Holy shit. Something shredded my horse in total darkness. Yeah, exactly. Like, what is this? I felt like I was watching a horror movie. I love watching my character in the cutscenes. Yes, dude. Like, I think that if this is actually your character in the cutscene, I no longer have literally anything to complain about, because I think that's fucking amazing. That is so cool. Let me go ahead. I'm going to watch this this video here. I think this is the developers, yeah, the developers of Diablo 4 talking about it and kind of like what the open beta means. Here we go.
I'm Ryan McCaffrey, one of IGN's biggest Diablo fans. I am extraordinarily excited for Diablo 4, and I am very pleased to be joined right now here at IGN FanFest by Joe Shelley, the game director on Diablo 4. Joe, welcome.
Hi.
So what they had happen there was they had two audio inputs, and one audio input was the frame right here, and the other audio input was this frame, and that's why it went away as soon as he went into this frame. That's probably what they just did. I'm not sure, but as somebody who has had a million different audio problems, guys, audio problems, I know it might sound like it's really easy to solve. It's not. It's super fucking annoying, and it drives me crazy. Here we go.
Game director on Diablo 4. Joe, welcome.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Hi,
all right, Joe. Diablo cinematics, we're no stranger to them being beautiful from the Blizzard cinematics team, but you've got
I think the best thing about them is that they're not beautiful. They're fucking gritty and dark. That's what Diablo 2 was. It was gritty and dark. Diablo 3 was much more high fantasy, and I'm glad that they're moving back to the gritty, dark, like fucking hell and heaven theme of Diablo 4.
Trick up your sleeve this time. Your actual custom-created character is in the cinematics. Can you please tell us how that came to be?
Yeah, that's right. So we knew that in Diablo 4 we wanted to offer much more character customization than we'd offered in previous Diablo titles. The artists did such a great job. The characters look so incredible, close up, from all different cameras.
Oh, I think they look incredible. And I'll even go out on a limb and I'll say that Diablo Immortal is the best iteration of Blizzard character creation they've ever done. So like as soon as I saw that in Diablo Immortal, I knew that Diablo 4's character creator was going to be incredible.
Camera angles that we knew that they need.
These people remind me of like the fucking 33-year-old like you know, married couple that go to see My Chemical Romance like 20 years after they were popular. It gives me a little bit of fucking existential dread to see this.
Needed to be part of the actual cinematics that you're experiencing, right? So as you're playing through the campaign, you're going through a mix of gameplay to conversations with NPCs to dynamic combat moments, and part of that is these cinematics where story takes place, right? And so we thought it was incredibly important for the character that you create, your character who is actually taking part in all of this action, to be featured in the cinematics. And so
I think that's really cool. And it's like, I know obviously like back in the day this was very popular, And it's like, I remember people would always post screenshots, or not screenshots, pictures of like Dr. Disrespect at some sort of like a fucking, like a football or a basketball game. And he would obviously like have on all of his fucking gear. He'd be dressed up as Dr. Disrespect. And like one of the main comments in every single one of those pictures is, it's like, this is what it's like whenever a game puts your player made character into the cinematic, because it looked like he didn't fit in at all. And I do think it's going to be really fucking funny to make a dumb fucking looking character in Diablo 4 just to see what facial expressions they're going to make in the cinematics.
We were able to,
I'm glad they're doing this
with
again.
Our engine and our tools and our artists coming together, especially our lighting team, really knocked it out of the park. We were able to get the cinematics to incorporate your character in a way that feels totally fluid. So,
it does. Like, I actually didn't even know that watching it. Like, I could tell that the cinematic was not, Blizzard's cinematic level quality, but I just thought it was kind of like a teaser cinematic for the beta, so I didn't really think much of it.
You're playing the game and you're seeing yourself right there with those characters as the story's playing out.
And what's wild about it to me, as somebody that's been playing games my whole life, like we've gotten used to seeing our characters customized how we have them in in-engine cinematics,
exactly,
but this looks like it's all pre-rendered, like it's your character in a...
To be fair, the reason why it looks like it's pre-rendered is because the majority of the scenes are extremely dark. And if they're not dark, they're very far away, so it's harder to actually see that they're lacking fidelity. This is a very good, a good design decision by Blizzard. This was smart for them to do this.
Blizzard Game Cinematic, which did you guys have to invent some new tools for this, or is there some magic sauce here?
We did, yeah. It's part of the engine that runs Diablo 4, and the art team really just delivered in an incredible way, from the lighting and the scenes to all of the props and the environments. I think it looks phenomenal, and
it
I
looks
can't
great.
wait for players to check it out.
Now, story-wise, no surprise that cutscene kind of sets up a pretty bleak game, but story
That's exactly how it should be. Yeah, Diablo 3, bleak, dark, grim, gory, unforgiving.
Something,
that's
at least
what we
from
want
my
to see.
experience in the press beta back in December, you guys seem like you're really doubling down, making an extra conscious effort with story compared to, I guess just the most recent Diablo mainline game, Diablo.
Diablo thing. He had trouble calling it a game.
3. Can you kind of speak to that a minute for a minute
about Diablo 3, the most recent game?
The real focus that the team clearly has on story here?
We are.
Look, I'm going to give you guys a little, let me show you guys something real quick. This is what I think of the Diablo 3 world, okay? I've had this screensaver ever since 2012. It is one of my favorites. I absolutely fucking love it. I loved it then. I still love it now. I'm still using it. So I actually thought the scenery and everything in Diablo 4, especially towards the beginning, was really, really cool. I love this kind of content.
Yeah, with Diablo 4, we really wanted to take our storytelling in the Diablo series to the next level. The Diablo world, the world of Sanctuary, all of the lore of Diablo is so rich and so interesting that we really felt like we could spend more time telling interesting stories. And one of the things that Diablo 4 does in particular is that it tells stories about people who are living in the world of Sanctuary, right? Obviously, there are angels with Inarius, and there are demons, and there are these supernatural forces that exist in this world, but characters of Sanctuary are the most interesting ones to follow. And
I think that's generally true. Is like having like a story about the angel and the demon, it's better to have them as like kind of characters that you follow kind of passively, but it's actually the smaller, more relatable characters that you're focused on primarily.
We'll be right there along with them.
That's probably a better idea.
Through the campaign, which is quite extensive, 30 hours or more of gameplay for players. There's tons of side quests that build out the world even more and really put a lot of effort into Diablo 4, more effort than we've ever done before.
You can probably guess what I'm going to ask you next, because it's not often that we get to talk to you. We got a release date at the Game Awards, and thus the next...
The hell is it? Just drink a fucking Pepsi. What are you doing? Drink a Coke. What is this weird ass soda they're drinking over there in California? Just drink a Coke.
Natural question. Do you want to ask it for me right here and then go ahead and answer it?
Since we announced that we would be doing a beta for Diablo 4, people have been asking when is the beta. I think someone asked me what is my favorite beta date as a way to try to get an answer.
That's clever.
And I'm incredibly excited because we're going to announce it today,
it's about a month from now.
Now, remember, of course, that the game itself is coming out on June 6th, and you're going to be able to play the beta on March 17th through March 19th, so that weekend, if you've pre-ordered, right?
Yeah.
That is going to get access to the early access beta. Now, everyone in the...
Oh, everybody can play the beta? Oh, wow. I didn't even understand that. Okay, so you get early access, okay, guys? So... you get early access at the beginning, but you get early beta access if you pre-ordered the game. Okay, that makes sense, sure.
World will be able to play it on March 24th through March 26th, so the following weekend there. So pre-order, you can get an access to an extra weekend, and everyone gets to play the weekend after.
And then if you're in that early access weekend, does everything get wiped and you're going to start over
of course.
during that open weekend, or is everything to get preserved for that following weekend?
No, it'll carry over between weekends, but
Nice.
obviously
I don't really think that, like, it's literally like a weekend event. Who gives a fuck? I hope that they limit the beta tremendously. Like, it's kind of, and I'm kind of two minds about this, right? Because you guys remember, who here played Diablo 3 on release? I played it the night that it came out, and I remember I got the annual pass for a while. Like, yeah. Do you remember, like, how good Act 1 was, and how Act 1 was just this perfect S-tier experience? And then you go into the desert, and you have those stupid little fucking, what are they, ferrets? That are throwing grenades at you, and wasps that are shooting baby wasps at you, then they just disappear and your character dies. Oh my god. It was the most unpleasant fucking experience ever. And the reason why Act 1 was so good is because it was so extensively beta tested. So it's like, I kind of, like, I don't want to have to beta test anything. Like, I want to be able to go into the game and play it raw. But at the same time, I know that they have to beta test more stuff, and I don't want them to have the same issue that they had with with Diablo 3. Now, I don't think it'll be that bad because Diablo 4, like, it's going to be a seasonal game, whereas Diablo 3 was not initially a seasonal game. So people wouldn't really give a shit about it that much if it's a little bit bugged at the beginning because they're just waiting for seasons to start. So I don't know, like, I could see them going either way with this.
The character progress during the beta will get wiped before release. We want everyone to start with a fair playing field. And of course, it's going to be available on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation systems. And the beta itself, it's quite extensive. It's quite a significant look at the game. Right?
Okay.
So it is limited by that period of time, right? Like the servers will shut down at the end of that time.
Yeah.
But there's no time limit within the game. You can level all the way up to 25, which is a quarter of the way to the level cap of 100 in the full game. You'll be able to play all the way through the prologue. You'll be able to play through Act 1, which takes place in Fractured Peaks, one of our 5 areas in the game.
Okay.
And you'll be able to play through all of the campaign and side quests that exist in that area. So there's quite a lot to check out.
Oh,
okay, so you can basically just play the first zone. Yeah, that's fine.
That. Now, in my experience covering games for a long time now, a lot of times when we see these betas nowadays, they take place like the month before release at the earliest, and they're kind of more like, for all intents and purposes, demos, but you're actually leaving...
Well, there's also, like, I think that the betas, what they really do by allowing an open beta, the real reason why they're doing an open beta, one big reason, besides marketing, is that it stress tests the servers. Because everybody's going to try to log on. And whenever they do, and the servers go down, it gives them more of a head count of how much space they need to allocate.
Enough time here to incorporate actual player feedback, given that you're doing this in March. So what are some of the things that you're going to be watching for when players get their hands on the beta? And how much actual meaningful feedback do you expect to incorporate into the final game?
I would expect almost
this
none.
beta is happening far enough ahead of launch, and there are 2 reasons to do that. One, Of course, we want to test our server infrastructure. We want to make sure that the game is actually ready for everyone to play at launch. We want everyone to have the best experience possible at launch. And two, it's another opportunity to test our balance, our game's balance, right? So we're going to be able to look at data from this.
How are you going to test the game's balance in Act 1?
Even though it's an early look, players aren't going to be experiencing the end game in this beta. It will give us valuable information for class balance, valuable information for how fun various quests are. We've got more information about the details of the beta. I touched on them a little bit, but if you tune in on February 28th, we're going to be doing our second developer live stream.
Okay.
And so we'll have more information about the beta then.
Excellent. All right, Joe, so we are
cool.
just
That's like
about
10
a
days
month
from
away.
now.
Is there anything else about this beta coming up that we should know, that we should be on the lookout for when we play it?
We were talking about the cinematic, the opening cinematic earlier, which features your character, but you should know that there are a bunch of those in the game.
Wow.
And you're going to get to see a number of them during the beta, so that's not the only one, and there's some really cool stuff in there.
That's badass.
Well, Joe, I don't know if I'll get to talk to you again before you ship this game, so thank you in advance to you and the team for pushing hard in the final stretch, because it's, for me personally, I've been playing Diablo since the first game, which makes me old, but I had like I told you earlier, I had an absolute blast. Like, I was trying to explain it to somebody of why this game feels good and feels like Diablo 2 kind of good, and I can't quite explain why, which is not great because it's my job to explain why, but you're clearly on the right path for me, so I just, thanks for the next 4-5 months of what will, I'm sure, will be super hard work, because I can't wait to play the final game.
Well, I appreciate it. Fixing bugs and getting the game ready. So we're just...
I like that really massive sigh after he said, thanks for all the hard work leading up to the game, because this guy knows he's going to be working like 18 hours a day, like for the last month of the game.
Excited to get it out and to have people get the chance to play all the work the team's been working on.
I'm excited to see it. I really hope Diablo 3 or Diablo 4, I'll probably say that until Diablo 5 comes out. I really hope that Diablo 4 is great. I see the trailer, contextualizing the trailer around the fact that it's actually your in-game character in the cinematic. I think that is fucking incredible. Obviously, the cinematic was not it was not this, okay, guys? Like, let's be real. But it doesn't have to be. I think that, again, those, very... Diablo always felt to me like it was, it was, very, it had, fantasy elements to it, but it always had, that Frank Frazetta, more grounded fantasy, Conan the Barbarian vibe to it, whereas, other games that were way more expansive into fantasy, World of Warcraft, for example, way much more fantasy, super magic spells, all kinds of crazy shit, etc., whereas Diablo always had a little bit more of a grounded feel to it. And I think you can especially feel that in Diablo 2. I'll probably go through and play. I've never beaten Diablo 2. I've never beat the game. And I would like to go through and play the entire the entire campaign and actually see what it's like. I played half of the first act. That's it. On stream? Oh yeah, I'll do this on stream. No, I couldn't get Diablo 2 because my mom thought, bro, I got communion whenever I was a kid. We went to mass every Sunday. You think what the hell do you think she's gonna say whenever I say, Mom, can we buy a game? It's called Diablo. Yeah, that's not gonna fucking happen, okay? And so she thought it would turn me into a Satanist or something like that. And I remember even whenever Diablo 3 came out, I was 21, 22 years old. She was like, she didn't even like that then, playing that devil game. Yeah, so I never got Diablo 2, and that's the reason. If I had gotten it, I would have played that game like crazy, man. Well, I probably would have at least. So, yeah. I never did Diablo 1 at all. Never even played I never really even went back and played it at all. But yeah, testing Act 1 for balance, I'm not really sure how much help that's really going to give you. I feel like at max level, there's always going to be a few weird talent combinations. I'm going to play a barbarian. Obviously, I've kind of already decided. It was in between playing a barbarian and playing a wizard, because I played a wizard to be fair, actually, like, my main character in Diablo 3 was an Archon Wizard, and I got it all the way up to Paragon 100, and I farmed that shit like crazy. I really enjoyed it a lot, and then Reaper Souls came out, played that for a few seasons, got into, like, the top, I think the highest, like, I was, like, top 20 on the ladder in, like, a couple of the seasons. I think it was Season 4, Season 5, and Season 6. Maybe I didn't do Season 5, I don't remember. And I enjoyed it a lot. It was really fun, but I don't know how much more I'm going to play this game. I'm not sure. I think that whenever the game doesn't really have a... Like, I think that Path of Exile just does such an incredible and amazing job at creating a progression path at endgame that is just so great. It is such an incredible and amazing progression path. And I don't know how Diablo 4 is going to be able to compete against that. I don't know how they're going to be able to compete. PoE has too much shit in it. You're right. PoE probably does have too much shit in it. And they've scaled that back a bit. I'm super excited for PoE 2. It won't. Well, Diablo 4 also doesn't have to be PoE. It doesn't have to be as complex and nuanced and multifaceted like PoE is. And, like, I guess an example of this is, like, remember back in the day, people would play Diablo and it was like a much more complex ARPG, but there were other people that just played Gauntlet. Who played Gauntlet whenever they're growing up? Gauntlet, even Dark Legacy, I went back and I played it a few years ago. That game is so bare bones. Like, it's just, you just sit, you stand and hit. That's it. It is a super easy game, but everybody fucking loved Gauntlet. So Diablo 4 doesn't have to be Path of Exile. It can just be Gauntlet. And it can be really fun. It doesn't have to be this massively complex, fucking, 100 hours of theory crafting, making a 30-minute guide video about a build, and there's not even any gameplay in it. It's just a bunch of spreadsheets, and everybody in the comment section is, like, saying, wow, I can't wait to do this. I'm so excited. This video is amazing. It doesn't have to be that. So I just really hope that Diablo 4 is great. I'm going to play it. I hope it's good, and I'll probably play Diablo 2 campaign a little bit before Diablo 4 beta comes out, just to compare it, just so I get an idea. The reason Diablo 4 is supposed to be good is because it's apparently a lot like Diablo 2, so it might be good from the perspective to play. I think that the biggest thing that makes me not excited for Diablo 4 is the fact that you can't trade gear. I think that you should be able to trade all of the gear all of the time. That's how Diablo 3 was at the beginning, and I loved it. That's how Path of Exile is. And I'm sorry, I am not going to hear any fucking excuses about Blizzard. Oh, well, they can't deal with it. Path of Exile is a free-to-play fucking game, and it's not ruined by fucking pay-to-win. Of course people RMT in that game, but it's not that bad. Diablo can 100% fucking do this, and I don't know why they don't. I love playing PoE and Diablo because you could buy and sell gear. It made things way more interesting. PoE gear is a lot more complex, very true. And we'll have to see how things change, okay? I played a number of seasons of Reaper of Souls, like I just said. So we'll just have to wait and see. I know how it works, okay? Let's see here. Playing Diablo 1 1990s. Can't complain on Diablo stuff every 10 years I'm in. Yeah, exactly. It will affect nothing. It's just marketing and stress testing. Yeah, I think it's primarily stress testing. I would agree with that. Why are they making such a big deal of a custom character appearing in a cutscene? It's not like we haven't seen this before. Yeah, praising a well-done job by any means, making such a big deal. Yeah, I think it's a very well-done job of the characters being in cutscenes. For sure, man. Probably have items and cosmetics only be available in the beta, so they can become worse. Bro, I love how, oh my god. Bro, this guy's like, this is the worst thing. It's like, Blizzard has, like, these people, and these people have just been burned by Blizzard so many times, they will just believe every single thing is fake. It doesn't matter what it is, it's fake. They're lying or something like that. Probably have items and cosmetics that will only be available in the beta, so they can become worse something later. Why are you, this is just... What a fucking idiot, okay? Like, I can't believe how dumb this person is. It's so sad. Do we have to sign up for Diablo 4 beta? Yeah, you probably do. I mean, how could they... Like, I'm sure you have to sign up and make an account somewhere. Yeah, absolutely. Well, they shit on the Diablo community constantly. Yeah, this guy's probably Paragon 300 in Diablo Immortal, okay? He's had enough. But yeah, cinematic looks great. What they're talking about looks great. I wasn't happy about some of the things that they talked about with like being able to like reorient your character. I don't really I don't see there being any value in not allowing people to like respect their character whenever they want in Diablo 4 and like redo their gear whenever they want. I don't think adding friction into that makes the game better in any way, because it's effectively kind of like it's a seasonal game. Like, why add friction into a seasonal game like that? It's a bit much. But yeah, I'm really glad I looked at that. I'm super excited for Diablo 4. I can't wait to play it. I don't know when exactly that's going to be, but hopefully it will be soon.